and welcome back to Borderlands 4. Today I'm bringing back a series I did in Borderlands 3 and Wonderlands where I farm one boss 100 times and take down all their drops info, so we know what dedicated drops they have and how often they drop them, including world drops and purple rarities. Starting the series off with Callis the Ripper Queen, I didn't actually just farm her 100 times, I farmed her 300 times. To compare the drop rates on easy mode or easy difficulty, no ultimate Vault Hunter mode, and then hard difficulty, ultimate Vault Hunter level 1, and hard difficulty, ultimate Vault Hunter level 5. And the result was interesting. First, if you didn't know, you can change your difficulty in the pause menu or when starting a new character between easy, normal, and hard, which changes a few things, but the main focus for this video is on hard mode. It says loot quality increased, and it also says the same thing on each new level of ultimate Vault Hunter mode. What does that even mean? I don't know, so we tested it. I should probably mention, if you want to farm the Ripper Queen Stage 1 for yourself, head to Carcadia, top left of the map in the Fallen Crown district. There's a fast travel station there. Then you've got to run even more top left of the map to the Mooncold Throne Door. Enter that, run through the very lengthy Ripper area that's just there to waste some time until you get to the arena at the very end with the Moxie's Encore machine out the front. Shout out not having to log out and back in to farm bosses in this game. It's so nice. The boss fight itself is not bad. It's mostly a build tester. If your build is strong enough, you can take her down in one clip. No worries, it's a good time. If you don't, it punishes you with a 30-second unskippable immunity phase, or you just stood there doing basically nothing but running around in circles. So I'd recommend one clipping her, it's a lot easier. The drops after 100 farms of Callis the Ripper Queen on UVHM 5 and hard difficulty, which is locked to be hard if you're on Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, is 33 legendaries. Just one of those was a world drop, which is insanely low compared to the last two games. For comparison, at the launch of Wonderlands, world drops dropped twice as often as dedicateds. Now it's a 1 to 32 ratio in favor of dedicated drops. Wild. Queen Callis particularly has a lot of dedicated drops at 6, including the Memento Shield, which was the bane of my existence today. Grants 15% elemental resistance and 50% resistance to the last damage type received for 5 seconds. Second, the Queen's Rest, a Torgue pistol with the classic sticky jets, and then 4 class mods, 1 for each character. First, Amon's Viking mod, Crucible gains 2 charges, increased duration, and grants increased damage reduction while active. Vex's Illusionist mod, Spectres and Reapers have a chance to bosses, gaining increased health and damage. The chance increases the longer it hasn't occurred and will at least occur once every 90 seconds. Rafa's Escremador mod, I believe is how you pronounce it, apologies if I totally scuffed that. Rafa's melee attacks gain a 10% crit hit chance. Crit hits with melee attacks restore 5% of action skill duration. And Harlow's Skeptic mod, the whole reason I was here, whenever you slam an enemy in stasis, you automatically fire radiation and cryo darts that home in on enemies. Shooting enemies with an active status effect restores 5% of action skill cooldown. So, out of the 32 dedicated drops, we got 8 Queen's Rests, 6 Amon mods, 6 Rafa mods, 6 Memento Shields, 3 Harlow Skeptic mods, and 3 Vex mods. Typically, at least in previous games, when it decides to drop a dedicated drop, it randomizes which one it chooses from the dedicated loot pool that boss has. So when there's as many as 6 dedicateds, we have what's known as Borderlands RNG, aka sometimes you just get scammed and you don't get as many, or sometimes any Harlow mods that you came for, and instead you get 8 Queen's Rests, which you hadn't even heard of before today. There's also been a general consensus at the launch of Borderlands 4, more so than usual I guess, that you get more class mods for characters you're not playing versus the one that you are playing, which so far is true, but that's definitely not enough testing yet, we'll just keep tracking it. We also got, very notably, 194 purple rarity items, almost 2 per run. Sometimes I got 6, other times I got nothing but blues and greens for multiple runs in a row. But some purples in this game are straight up better than legendaries, so that's why we're definitely tracking those as we go as well. After 100 farms in hard mode UVHM 1, we got 28 legendaries, 5 less than when we were in UVHM 5, which is definitely not a huge difference across 100 farms, like the same ballpark. Again, only 1 world drop, which was an enhancement. Out of the 27 dedicated drops we got, 8 of them were Memento Shields, 7 too many in my opinion, 7 Rafa mods, 5 Vex mods, 3 Harlow mods, 2 Amon mods, and 2 Queen's Rests. So Harlow's Skeptic mod is still toward the bottom of the list, but we still got 1 less of Amons, so eh. As for purple rarities, very interestingly, we got 270 or 2.7 per run compared to 1.94 for UVHM 5, which is considerably higher, which we'll come back to in a second. In 100 farms on easy difficulty, no ultimate Vault Hunter mode enabled, where bosses are considerably easier, the wind straight up might blow them over, we got 29 legendaries. 1 more than last time, meaning we're all in the same ballpark regardless of what difficulty or ultimate Vault Hunter mode we've been on today. Granted, this time we did get 4 world drops, so this time it makes it 25 dedicated drops compared to 32 at max difficulty, which is a decent gap, but not crazy at 100 farms. Out of the 25 dedicateds, we got 8 Queen's Rests, 8 Harlow Skeptic mods, 3 Vex mods, 3 Memento Shields, 2 Amon mods, and 1 Rafa mod. So at least on easy mode, I managed to get more Harlow mods for once, and by a decent margin as well. I'll definitely keep comparing character class mods as I test more bosses and see if it changes in the max difficulty in the future. And purple rarities, we got the most with 293, just shy of 3 on average, and 100 more purples than we got in max difficulty Ultimate Vault Hunter mode 5, which is a crazy difference. I'm definitely interested to compare other bosses and see if that continues, but currently it feels like we're fighting bosses with 350% more health, 20% more damage, and I gotta match all my elements all the time for less purples and the same ballpark total legendaries. I will say though, 25 to 32% dedicated drop rate is crazy high. Again, for comparison, in Wonderlands it was about 15%, so I don't know, potentially in this game, bosses with more dedicated drops could drop them more often. Potentially, I don't know, I guess we'll find out. Feel free to subscribe down below, it is much appreciated. I'm trying to hit 100k. I'm also streaming daily on Twitch, making endgame builds, which will be out on the channel soon, so keep an eye out for those. Other than that, have a fantastic day. We'll catch you guys next time. Till then, adios.